A number of national polls are out with their final predictions, and almost all of them show Joe Biden with the advantage. The average shows Biden leading the president 52% to 42%. But a lot of Republicans say the polls were wrong before, and they are wrong again now. Instead, they say, trust your eyes. Look at the giant crowds at the president's rallies recently. There were also giant convoys of cars and trucks seen in cities across the nation waving Trump 2020 flags and signs. So the question is, which is a better indicator for who's going to win, the polls or the large crowds at the president's rallies? Al, what do you think?
It's so interesting how we've shifted the narrative, Sam, because before it was the silent majority. It was the people that you didn't see. And now it's trust your eyes. It's the people that you do see. So which one is it? I wonder, and this is a little conspiracy theory, Al, right? Jeff, I'm putting on my tinfoil hat. I'm wondering if they're saying trust your eyes. So if the result does not come out in Trump's favor, you can say, how did we get these numbers? You guys all saw the massive rallies. Something nefarious happened with the numbers. I think this is a way to kind of set up if he does in fact lose, that something fishy went on.
I just think.
And also, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Tori. I'd like to rebuttal your statement anyway after you're done.
I was just going to say quickly that there will be a big Republican turnout. A lot of Republicans and Trumpers want to vote on Election Day. They don't trust the other way of voting. So do expect a big surge, but also know that a lot of African Americans and Hispanic voters like to get dressed up and go on the day of election. So you are going to see a bump up in the Trumpers, but is it enough to get to 270? I don't think so.
I was just going to say quickly, I think the far left and the far right are kind of in their choose your own adventure scenario. They see what their eyes want them to see, and that's their answer. But the majority, the middle part of America, I think will not tell you who they're voting for. If you ask me who I'm voting for and I said, I'm going to vote for Donald Trump, well, guess what the rebuttal to that is? You're racist, you're misogynist, you're homophobic, all the labels you get put on, right? So I'm not going to tell you that I'm voting for Trump. What if I told you I was voting for Kanye West? They'd say, why would you throw your vote away like that? Why don't you just vote for, pick one or the other? Okay, well, I guess what? I'm going to vote for Joe Biden. Well, there you go. He's got our back. Let's move on.
Or they would call you a socialist if you voted for Biden.
That's
so
true.
I think.
But pollsters take all that. When a pollster, which was my major, by the way, when a pollster.
Pollster was your major.
Well, sociology, but that's what.
That doesn't mean that that's your major. You can't just. What?
Yes, Albert.
No, you just can't say yes and then we're going to move on. No.
Albert, people that conduct polls and surveys, they major in sociology. Most of them will go on to become doctors, and that's exactly what they do. They conduct studies and they do statistical analysis. And to rebut your question about people not wanting to state who they vote for because they're afraid of pushback, it's all anonymous. And a pollster will actually interview one-on-one. Post-pandemic, I'm not sure how they would go about it, but they would go one-on-one interviews. They take it all into consideration. It is a science. It is. Al, you're not even gonna look at me.
Because that's happening? So you're just saying. So you're associated. So now you're an expert in polls.
I'm not. Well,
there was a poll class. You took a poll class. You took a poll class.
I have a degree. In
no one's saying you don't have a degree. I want to know what class set you up to be a pollster.
Oh, I remember conducting surveys and polls. Do you know what mine were? What mine was?
9-year-olds do that.
No, I went to an archaeological class and went to a dig, and my whole survey was about polls on like different artifacts.
Where did you go?
I went to San Diego to a really cool heritage museum, and I did a whole survey about digs.
She is just making this up. This is like a game of Mad Libs coming out of her head. Where? San Diego. There was a dinosaur there, and it was dead, and we took a poll. None of this happened. Sam, that did not happen. You got a grade on that? You got a grade on?
Yeah, and actually I did quite well in the social sciences department. It was my major at UCLA. Thank you very much.
I'm glad we're all back together again.
Me too.